You know, I'm really glad that I've got friends online because I forgot to unmute them. So hello, guys online. So it's taken me several months to really settle on what I wanted to talk with you about today. I know I've gone back and forth just so many times, and my good friends, they're probably tired of hearing me talk about it. But you know what? I think, a matter of fact, I'm sure that they would fully support what I have to share with you today. Why such difficulty, you may ask? Well, you will find that for many people, it's difficult for them to even talk about it. And for others, it's difficult to even hear discussed. Yet, I suggest, as you will see, we're all better served by facing these facts of life, acknowledging them, and most of all, accepting them. I call my sharing today the facts of life. But most of us and Buddhists call them the 5 remembrances. You know, I'm aware, because I was a part of it, that our Dharma leaders have done deep dives on each of the 5 remembrances. And they triggered my curiosity to find out more. So here are some of my thoughts and my musings about the 5 remembrances. It's been said that these are foundational to Buddhism, as they're a great summary of exactly what Buddhism is at its very best. These remembrances are simply written, perfectly clear and perfectly compassionate. They do not mislead or deceive. They are direct and filled with wisdom. They are the truth of the nature of our lives and were written to be contemplated. They are said to point the way and support us to a better, more fulfilling life. Thus, I recite them and contemplate them each day. Now, the translation that I'd like to share with you tonight is from Vietnamese monk Thich Nhat Hanh. The 5 remembrances are as follows. I am of the nature to grow old. There is no way to escape growing old. I am of the nature to have ill health. There is no way to escape ill health. I am of the nature to die. There is no way to escape death. All that is dear to me and everyone that I love are of the nature to change. There is no way to escape being separated from them. My actions, my actions are my only true belongings. I cannot escape the consequences of my actions. My actions are the ground upon which I stand. These 5 remembrances were first written in the Upadana meditation, sutta, which actually means subjects for contemplation, and are intended to be memorized and recited. For me, they're among the first things that I see in the morning and one of the last things that I see at night. They serve as a constant reminder of the true nature of life itself. I can no longer fake myself out by denying what I know to be the truth. I have found that the only way to embrace them is through acceptance. Acceptance. You know, when I think about acceptance, it reminds me of my journey in Alcoholics Anonymous. So I want to share with you a quotation from the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous. I even remember the page number, page 449. And acceptance is the answer to all my problems today. When I am disturbed, it is because I find some person, place, thing, some situation, some fact of my life unacceptable to me. And I can find no serenity until I accept that person, place, thing, or situation as being exactly the way it's supposed to be at that moment. We've heard this before. One might see these remembrances as depressing, and some might say that there's no point in dwelling on things that we can't change. Yet, these writings were not intended to make us feel depressed or guilty. They were given to us to foster a rich and fulfilling life. Can you see this? Can you see this? Or do they trigger feelings that lead you to turn away? I implore you, please, don't turn away and realize what you are seeing. It is through clear seeing that's our answer. To see these clearly is to accept their truth. Again, let us more closely look at these remembrances. I am of the nature to grow old. There is no way to escape growing old. Indeed, we are growing old. As a matter of fact, aging begins the moment we're born. Today, all I have to do is look in the mirror, or at times the aches and pains of my body let me know that I am indeed aging. I don't know about you, but when I was younger, I paid little or no attention to my body aging. I didn't think life would ever change. On summer trips to New York, I thought that my New York neighborhood would always be the same. And each summer when we would visit, I expected that everything would remain just as we had left it the year before. As a young child, I was disappointed when I first became aware that everything was changing and that I was aging. As you, I have come to know that everything changes. No need to try to fool myself or deny that I'm not getting old. To see clearly is to accept the truth. I am getting old, just as you too are aging. Yet, it is also a signal for us to take care of our bodies and to savor each moment as we pass this way only once. No mulligans, no do-overs. Each moment in this life is treasure. I am of the nature to have ill health. There is no way to escape ill health. In this life, it's good to look after yourself, to protect what we have been given as gift. Yet in life's journey, at some point, we will become ill. No way around it. You know, as I was writing this, thoughts of my dad came up. You see, he was an incredibly healthy person. Through his 50s, 60s, 70s, he was very, very, very seldom ill. Yet we all knew that his body was deteriorating. And early in his 80s, illness caught up with him. He had a stroke. He was unable to speak for about 2 years. He did regain all of his faculties over time, yet it was such a blow to him that he had become ill. You see, he had developed this strange sense of pride, having had such good health for most of his life. So when he became ill, it was very much a shock. All of our bodies are deteriorating. So becoming mindful about our health is good for even the smallest amount of good health. May we have deep gratitude for even the smallest miracles of life, the ordinary miracles of life. To see, to hear, to breathe, to feel. Good health in this life is such a blessing. If we have good health, let us savor this. Yet, lest we forget the truth of the second remembrance, there is no way to escape ill health. I am of the nature to die. There is no way to escape death. You know, this is a difficult one for me. We know that one day our time will come. We can't fight it. Just as the remembrance state, there's no way to escape death. So once again, I say, each moment is precious and to be savored. Let us not take this time for granted and make the best of each day that we have been given. Let us experience the connections that we have with our loved ones and all that we share this time on earth with. You know, this reminds me of a question that I heard Thich Nhat Hanh once asked. He said, when we see a flower, do we enjoy its beauty less because we know that it will die? No. For the time that it is here, we savor and enjoy its beauty. This can be a lesson of gratitude for all of us. Let us make the very best of the precious time that we have. As our time on this earth, it's fleeting. These are the first 3 of the 5 remembrances, and are what drove Siddhartha Gautama to become enlightening as a Buddha. Now, I don't know how many of you know the story. I know a lot of you here know this story. But Siddhartha was the son of the king of the Shakya clan in northern India. And to make a long story short, Siddhartha was a creature of had all of the creature comforts of that time. You see, he was royalty and he lived in this royal compounds, so he had wine, women, and song. Yet he became disenchanted with his situation. So in the secret of the night, he ventured out of the compound on 3 separate occasions. And on each occasion, he encountered what became known as the 3 divine messengers. Just as in the first 3 of the 5 remembrances, on his first venture out of the compound, he encountered a broken down, broken toothed old man, the first messenger, leading to the first remembrance. I am of the nature to grow old. On his second trip out, he encountered a man ravaged with illness, with sickness. The second remembrance from I am of the nature to become ill. And on his third trip out, he encountered a corpse, the third messenger, leading to the third remembrance. I am of the nature to die. These events set Siddhartha on the path to eventually become enlightened as a Buddha. Now, I won't say more about this. For those of you who are not familiar with the story of Siddhartha becoming Buddha, I hope it whets your curiosity. I hope it whets your curiosity to investigate further. But for now, let's look at the fourth remembrance. All that is dear to me, all that is dear to me and everyone that I love are of the nature to change. Boy, do I know this one. There is no way to escape being separated from them. The truth is that we're all going to suffer separation and loss. There were times that I tried to pretend otherwise. It always led to the same experience of sadness and grief. We're all going to lose what we have, if we really ever had it. I say again, to fight this truth is a sure way to suffer. And again, acceptance is our only path to peace. What I've come to know is that change impacts us all, and it is impersonal, imperfect, and impermanent. Let us celebrate and be grateful for the connections with our loved ones and all that we meet on life's journey. Most of all, let us enjoy this precious time that we have together here now. My actions are my only true belongings. I cannot escape the consequences of my actions. My actions are the ground upon which I stand. It is important to know that whatever you choose to do at any moment will have consequences. This is karma. Our actions will always bring consequences, but not always will we reap rewards. Meditation teacher Kuhn Franz, in the March 2021 edition of Lion's Roar, states, "What we choose to do matters. There will be consequences, but we don't know. We don't get to choose what those consequences will be." It's like aiming a bow and arrow while you're running. You know what you want to hit. Maybe you will, but maybe you won't. The meaning of what we do is clearly expressed through our actions. This brings to my mind a conflict that I recently had with a loved relative. We said some painful things to each other. The outcome? Suffering for us both. The lesson for me? Our actions truly matters. So I'd like to invite you to close your eyes, if that's comfortable for you. If not, just lower your gaze. And just allow the body to relax. Shift your weight or move if you can make yourself more comfortable. You don't have to be in any special posture for this meditation. Just be comfortable. If that means lying down or standing, then do that. Please, Take your attention to the parts of the body in contact with the floor and the seat. Which parts of the body are touching? Your feet? Your bottom? Your legs? See if you can allow these parts to become heavier into the floor or the seat. Can you allow the floor or the seat to receive the weight just a little more? Does your weight feel equally spread across those points? Across your feet, your buttocks, your legs? It's important to be comfortable. So let's just take a check-in here to relax a bit more. What's here for you right now? How are you feeling? What's going on for you in your mind? Acknowledge this. If your mind is busy or frantic, acknowledge this. Accept it. If you're worried or fearful, acknowledge and accept this too. We're not here to fight anything away or to deny it or change it. The more you fight, we just want to allow it all to be right here, right now. Remember the analogy of being in sinking sand, or what my dad would say, being in quicksand. The more you fight it, the more you sink. So just relax and allow yourself to be here in this present moment. Now, move your attention to the base of your chest, to your abdomen. Watch it as it rises and falls with each breath. Rise, fall. Rise, fall. Just keep your attention there, and only there, your abdomen, rising and falling. Now, see if you can tune into the sound of your breath, not thinking about what sound it's making, not applying any labels to it, but just noticing the sound. If your mind is wandering, thinking, then say thinking and invite your attention to listening, listening to your breath. Now, let us contemplate together on the 5 remembrances. I am growing old. No matter how old I am right now, I can't escape aging. Acknowledge this. Accept this. Can I do more to protect and nourish my mind and my body? I am of the nature to get ill health at some point in my life. I can't escape this. Acknowledge this. Accept this. Can I nurture my mind and body for health rather than some desired outcome, like how I look? I am of the nature to die. I can't escape this. Acknowledge this. Accept this. Our bodies will die. From the moment we are born, our bodies are dying. Can we become more mindful of how precious each day is? Can we be grateful for this moment right here, right now? Everyone and everything around me is of the nature to change. One day, I'll be separated from them. I cannot escape this. Acknowledge this. Accept this. Refusing to accept this will bring suffering, clinging, grasping, attachment. Can we protect and love the people and things entrusted to us? Can we cherish them, knowing that the time with them is treasure? My actions are my only belongings. I cannot escape the consequences of them. Acknowledge this. Accept this. You cannot change actions from the past that you may regret, but you can change your actions for now, for today, or perhaps tomorrow. Can you be more mindful that every word that you speak, every action you make will have consequences? Can you contemplate what the consequences may be before you speak? or act. Now, if some of the things that have come to your mind throughout this practice have made you feel emotions of sadness or fear, acknowledge them, accept them. Don't deny what you're thinking or feeling. Allow them space to be there. Give yourself time to think about why you might feel these feelings. You see, we are often attached to our desired outcomes. Release it. We want to live long and healthy lives. We want to die peacefully and have achieved everything that we want to do. We want our family to always be with us. But that's not always going to be the case. Releasing the attachments we have to a particular outcome also releases us from the shock and pain when things don't turn out the way we had hoped. And we can come to a place of acceptance, which is a pillar of life and a pillar in mindfulness. Acceptance of the 10,000 joys and the 10,000 sorrows. Letting go of the fight against what we cannot control is the ultimate freedom. Here, in acceptance, there is peace. For the next 10 minutes, 5 minutes or so, let us abide in silence. Let us make this inward journey in silence. Now, bring your attention back to the parts of the body in contact with the floor or the seat. And move your body in any way that feels right for you, taking care to be slow and gentle. Maybe a little stretch would help. Or wiggle your body. Do whatever you need to do to come back in the room and be with us. And now, open your eyes. Thank you.